going on, guys? It's Cimo. So today I'm bringing to you a Trickstar combo tutorial. If you saw yesterday, we just posted an introduction to Trickstar, which goes over all of the individual Trickstar cards in depth, but today we're going to be covering how some of those cards combo together and how to play this deck rather effectively. So Trickstar is an interesting deck because the deck doesn't necessarily have a lot of really crazy combos because the deck is fairly linear in its playstyle, but there are some really neat things that you can do that I did want to cover for you. So we're going to be going over a couple things. The first thing I want to cover actually though is the importance of the one card engine in itself. And it all stems from Trickstar Light Stage, or I guess Trickstar Candina, but Light Stage is the better card in this instance. The reason why this is so important is because it's really what keeps your engine going and ensures that you have a very strong follow-up play for your next turn. So by activating Light Stage is essentially what allows you to get to any Trickstar monster in your deck, which in this case we'll get Trickstar Candina. Candina is Stratos, so allows us to search anything, and that's what's going to get us to our Trickstar Licorice. Now using the effect of Licorice, we can bounce Candina back to our hand and summon Licorice to the field. So just simply by doing this with a one card engine, not only are we able to get Candina back into our hand for next turn, but Licorice in tandem with Trickstar Light Stage is going to be able to burn our opponent for 400 damage every time they add a card to their hand. And that's very valuable, especially considering that if you're going first, you're going to have 4 other cards in your hand to work with. But this is essentially, you want to make sure that you're able to do this every single turn so that you can keep your engine going. On your next turn, you can summon Candina, keep searching, and keep your engine going. That's really what's going to build the momentum and help snowball moving this deck forward. So we're going to reset here and we're going to start covering some of the combos. The probably biggest and most notorious combo with this deck is Trickstar Reincarnation in tandem with Droll and Lockbird. Now I wanted to cover this briefly. A lot of you guys are probably familiar with it, a lot of you guys have probably been wrecked by it, but I want to cover how this is supposed to function so that you understand when and how you're allowed to perform this combo. So what you're going to do is typically when your opponent activates a card like Terraforming or any card that's going to add a card from their deck to their hand. Typically you would use Droll and Lockbird in this situation because during the resolution of them adding a card to hand is the window where you're allowed to activate Droll and Lockbird. But the difference is here, rather than going for Droll and Lockbird immediately, you're going to first activate Trickstar Reincarnation as Chain Link 1. You're then going to chain the Droll and Lockbird from your hand as Chain Link 2. The thing is, Droll and Lockbird does not need to be used directly in response to your opponent adding a card from deck to hand. As long as it's in the response window, you're allowed to activate Droll and Lockbird at any time. So by doing it this way, Droll and Lockbird is going to resolve since chains resolve backwards. Your opponent is no longer going to be able to add cards from their deck to their hand, and then Trickstar Reincarnation is going to banish their entire hand, and since Droll and Lockbird has already resolved, they're not going to add any cards to their hand as a result of that, meaning they're going to lose their entire hand, and frankly, it's a win condition that the deck has that if you're able to pull it off, it works really well. Another way that you can pull this off is if you have 2 copies of Trickstar Reincarnation, because you can use the first one to make it so that Droll and Lockbird has its opportunity window to activate and then do exactly what I just demonstrated. But I wanted to quickly showcase that just so you guys understand how that combo works and when you're able to perform it. So moving on, we're going to move on to a couple other combos that are really cool that this deck is capable of pulling off. So one of my favorites is the Firewall OTK. So what is the Firewall OTK? So basically, all you're going to need for this combo is generally Scapegoat, because Scapegoat is essentially what gets us into our Firewall. And then you're also going to need a copy of Licorice, and you're also going to need a copy of Lilybell. Now, there's a little bit of leeway with where these cards can be. Licorice can actually be in the graveyard, as it turns out, because Lilybell can just add it back to hand, but these are essentially the combo pieces you're going to need if this is going to work. Additionally, your opponent is also going to need a monster on their side of the field if you want this to work as well. So just for quick demonstration purposes, let's just say they have this Ib on their side of the field. So we'll just put it here. So what you're going to do is, basically how this is going to happen is you're going to have your Scapegoat set for your turn. Now let's say your opponent has this IB and they end their turn. During the end phase, you're going to flip up your copy of Scapegoat and you're going to summon 4 goats to your side of the field. Now, I'm immediately going to link up with these goats, so that's why I'm not going to just place them out as tokens, because what we're going to do is we're going to immediately use these goats and go into our copy of Firewall Dragon. Now, this is where it's very important because the positioning of your cards here actually matters a lot, so do keep this in mind. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to normal summon Trickstar Lilybell. Now, if you have a way to add Lilybell to hand, you're able to special summon Lilybell and do it that way as well. So you don't need to hard draw the Lilybell. You can search it off Candina or Light Sage or any other way to get to it. So that's what's really good about this combo. But whatever you do, make sure you do not place the Lilybell underneath the Firewall Dragon. That's very important. So what you're going to do is you're going to use your Lilybell and attack your opponent directly. That's going to do 800 damage, 1000 if you have Trickstar Light Stage. Now, if you have your Licorice in the graveyard, you're going to use Lilybell's effect to add Licorice back to your hand. But if you already have it in hand, you're good to go. You're going to use the effect of Licorice still in the battle phase. You're going to special summon Licorice underneath the Firewall Dragon, and you're going to bounce the Lilybell back to your hand. Now, this is where it's important. Now, Licorice is going to attack into your opponent's monster that has more attack than Trickstar Licorice, sending it to the graveyard. Now, because Firewall, a monster that was Firewall was pointing to, has left the field, you're able to special summon a monster from your hand, so you're going to special summon back out the Trickstar Lilybell. Lilybell is going to attack your opponent directly again, and because Lilybell's graveyard recursion effect is not once per turn, you're going to add the Licorice back to your hand. And basically, you're just going to keep doing this combo, just crashing, resummoning, attacking, and adding Licorice back until your opponent runs out of life points, because it's an infinite loop due to Firewall's effect not being once per turn, in tandem with Lilybell's effect also not being once per turn, and you're basically able to kill your opponent outright. And it's a very simple combo because outside of just needing Scapegoat, it's very easy to get Lilybell and Licorice to your hand as well. So if you ever see your opponent leaving a monster on their field that has higher than 1700 attack, because I'd say that's the more difficult aspect because you do need to have something that Licorice can crash into, you're going to be able to kill your opponent right then and there, and there really isn't going to be a whole lot that they can do to stop it, assuming you've baited everything out that they may have on their field. So that's a really cool combo, probably one of my favorites. We're going to go ahead and quickly reset here, and we're going to just cover one more combo before bringing this video to a close. So for this combo, it's only going to require 2 cards as a matter of fact. It's just going to require a copy of Gofu as well as a copy of Light Sage. So what you're going to do is you're going to use the effect of your Light Stage and you're going to add Candina to your hand. Now you're going to special summon your Gofu and you're going to give yourself the 2 tokens. And you're going to immediately use those tokens to link up into 2 copies of Link Spider, 1 for each, and then you're going to use those 2 Link Spiders to make a Mrs. Radiant, which I guess we'll just put right here. Now, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to normal summon the Candina to your field, and you're going to add Trickstar Lilybell to your hand. Since Trickstar Lilybell was added to your hand via since it was added to your hand, you're able to special summon Lilybell to the field. Now, since Gofu is a tuner, we can actually sync both of these monsters for 7 and special summon Ancient Fairy Dragon. Now, Ancient Fairy Dragon's effect allows us to destroy our field spell and add another one. We're going to add another copy of Light Stage, and Light Stage is going to grab us another copy of Candina, which I so just happened to forgot in the instance of this combo. There we go. So we're going to have our second Candina in our hand, and now thanks to Ancient Fairy Dragon's second effect, we can special summon that other Candina to the field. Now what's great about this is we can now overlay these 2 Candinas for number 41, Babushka. And this gives us a very intimidating board to start with going first turn 1, because not only do you have Babushka on the field and basically just stopping anything your opponent might do, you have the threat of Light Stage next turn locking out one of your opponent's cards, Mrs. Radiant's on 1900, which is very formidable, and you also have Ancient Fairy Dragon, which you're able to use its effect again on your next turn if need be. But the fact that you have a good solid Babushka board that's essentially essentially a 2-card combo, even though one of them does require Gofu. It's a really nice opening board if you don't open the most optimal combo, but keep in mind, that was only a 2-card combo. I mean, you might have Reincarnation in your hand in addition to that, or maybe you have a Licorice. Like, there's so many other possible combinations you could possibly do to extend from this board, but I really like this board because it really gives you a nice solid presence, and really you can deal a lot of damage on your following turn just by switching Babushka to attack mode and allowing yourself to go all in and deal as much damage as possible. But guys, that's it for my Trickstar combo tutorial. Let me know down in the comments if you guys have any other really cool Trickstar combos that you'd love to share. I'd really love to hear your thoughts. Guys, thank you so much for watching the video. Be sure to like the video as always. Subscribe to the channel for more amazing Yu-Gi-Oh content. And if you found this video helpful, consider backing me on Patreon, because just by pledging only $1 a month, you're investing in my ability to continue bringing you amazing Yu-Gi-Oh content. So thanks so much again, and we'll see you next time. 1, 2, 3.